Wooden Railway Edward presents Thomas When Railway Adventures, Episode 1, Thomas and the Toy Delivery. Thomas is a small tank engine who lives on the island of Sodor. He has 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, and a short stumpy dome. He has a smart blue coat of paint and the number 1 proudly displayed on his side. One morning, Thomas woke up, and unfortunately for the other engines, woke them up too. In the night, he had had a dream of being a tender engine and pulling the express like Gordon. Of course, this was just a thought, but Thomas wanted to pull it back into reality. "I'm such a grand engine. I should be more appreciated," he stated.
"Oh, little Thomas, get some sense,"
huffed Gordon, who was upset that Thomas had roused him awake so early. "I'm better than you," jeered Thomas.
"You are a little insignificant shunter,"
retorted Gordon. "I have my own branch line, thank you very much."
"And how many passengers do you pull a day?"
Gordon asked smugly. Thomas grew more pompous still. "You're just jealous. I think that ahem." Sir Topham Hatt interrupted their argument. "Thomas, you are to pull a train to Knapford. An engine will have it ready at Elsbridge Station for you." Sir?" asked Thomas. "What is the train for?" "It is a delivery of toys for a special charity event for the children of Knapford," explained Sir Topham Hatt. "Okay, sir, I won't let you down," smiled Thomas, and his crew quickly got him ready for work.
"Someone better get the breakdown train ready,"
chuckled Gordon to himself. Thomas cheerfully pulled up to Elsbridge and surveyed his cars. "This will be easy to pull," thought Thomas. "It'll just be a quick run." Stanley pulled up to talk to Thomas. "Hello, Thomas. How are you doing this morning?" asked Stanley. "I'm fine, thank you," answered Thomas. "Just be careful," advised Stanley. "Those trucks were acting up when I was trying to shunt them in the yard." "Oh, Stanley, you worry too much. I'm a strong engine. I can keep the trucks in line without any effort at all," said Thomas, who was agitated with Stanley. "All right, if you say so," Stanley said, "but be careful." "I'm the definition of careful," snapped Thomas, and as he pulled away, he released a plume of steam. "Oh, dear," sighed Stanley as he rolled his eyes. Thomas kept up a good pace as he rode happily along the line. He stopped for a rest as he collected more toys for the charity event. Salty was the first to greet Thomas. "Hello there, Thomas. How are you doing today?" "I'm doing great. I'm the best engine on Sodor, and to prove it, Sir Topham Hatt gave me a special delivery." "Oh, I see," the dockside diesel said. "Well, enjoy your train, matey. But a bit of advice. Mind yourself, as these trucks can trick even the most respected engines." "We're not troublesome," whispered one of the trucks to the others. "We just like having some fun." "Troublesome fun," added another, and the silly trucks burst out in laughter. Salty and Thomas did not hear the truck's defiant remarks. "Yeah, whatever, I'll manage," mumbled Thomas as he departed the docks, his face flushed with annoyance. "I wonder what's gotten into him," pondered Salty out loud. "Just cranky, I suppose," suggested the big green crane. "Oh, you're one to talk," joked Salty from below. Thomas was now well on his way, and his trucks were full of toys. Salty, Stanley, and Gordon were wrong. Pulling these trucks is easy. "If they start making trouble, I'll just bump them, and they will come along quietly," said Thomas pompously. The trucks had heard what Thomas had said and became cross. "Who's he to boss us around?" "You're right," another truck spat. "We are independent. We can do whatever we want." "Let's pay 'em back," suggested one truck. "Pass it on to the others."
"Pay Thomas back."
"Pay Thomas back." "Pay Thomas back." Altogether, the trucks thought of a plan to get back at him. Fortunately for the trucks, Thomas had to stop to pin down his brakes before going down the steep gradient. As the conductor set the brakes, Thomas gazed at the view. Just when Thomas was about to start moving, the trucks put their plan into action. He suspected nothing, as he was daydreaming. I will look splendid going down the hill with my heavy train, thought Thomas to himself. Due to shortage of time, the trucks decided to use the classic push 'em down the hill trick. The careless conductor did not set the brakes right, but Thomas's crew did not know this. The truck's leader counted down. 3, 2, 1, go! And altogether the trucks jerked so hard that Thomas's brakes failed. Ah! Screamed Thomas, and he raced away. He was incapable of stopping and ran down the hill. He took a sharp bend so quickly that he nearly toppled over. Oh dear, I want to stop! I want to stop! Cried Thomas as the wind slapped his face. He soon approached a level crossing which was closed to let Jack cross. He was in the middle of crossing the tracks and didn't see Thomas coming. Jack, watch out! Yelled Thomas frantically, and luckily Jack got the message. His operator threw him into reverse and he flung off the track just in time. Thomas shut his eyes as splinters of wood flew all around him. You should have been more careful, Duck sighed as he pulled up to Jack. I saw the whole thing. Those silly trucks pushed him down the hill. I was just about to be as flat as this road, panted Jack. Sooner or later, someone won't be as lucky as I was. It had been a while, and Thomas had many close calls. He suddenly saw James coming down the track. He was bringing the children to the special event at Knapford. Oh no! Shouted James as he applied his brakes as hard as he could. It's too late, thought Thomas, and he prepared for the impact. Their efforts were all in vain. Thomas and James had collided, and both of them were off the rails. Many of the trucks had also derailed. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but toys were spread everywhere. I'm sorry, James, whispered Thomas groggily. Thomas, where did you come from? My paint is ruined. My buffers are twisted and bent, complained James. In a strange twist of fate, the children came out of the coaches and were excited to see all their new toys. And while Rocky and Harvey cleaned up the mess, the children played. Duck and Stanley helped to clear the wrecked trucks, and it was a lot of work. Oh my, Rocky said, his voice strained. My crane arm can't take much more of this. Duck and Stanley went back and forth, moving the damaged trucks out of the way. Finally, the engine and cranes finished cleaning up the accident, and the toys were taken away for proper separation. Later, Thomas was left on a siding to be out of the way until he could be brought to the works. James was beside him. I can't tell you enough how sorry I am, apologized Thomas. You know what? It's fine. Just don't remind me about it. I've caused you some accidents in the past, so this time I'll let it slide. At least it all worked out for the children. I'll try to be wiser in the future, James. I promise, interjected Thomas. Okay, Thomas. I hope we'll all be wiser in the future. And James looked away. He left Thomas without saying another word. The blue tank engine was left to think about his actions.